Have you ever walked through a grocery store and wondered why that one specific brand of yogurt or vitamin drink is always right there, perfectly stocked, right at eye level? It seems so simple, right? But behind that one little choice is this massive, hidden world of work. So let's dive in and see what's really going on.
I mean, that's really the million-dollar question for every single brand out there, isn't it? And the answer, more often than not, it's not just about having a better product or some slick ad campaign. Nope. It's about something way less glamorous, but a whole lot more powerful: data.
You see, for most companies today, the problem isn't that they don't have enough information. It's the total opposite. They are absolutely drowning in it. Think about it. Data is just pouring in from everywhere. You've got sales reports from dozens of different retailers. You have complex supply chain logs. You have market trends that are changing by the minute. And here's the kicker. It's almost always a complete mess. Living in a dozen different formats, it's not just chaotic, it's a total productivity killer.
And this really gets to the human cost of the whole problem. The brand managers, the marketing gurus, they didn't get into this business to become, data janitors, spending all day long wrestling with spreadsheets. Their real value, their genius, is in strategy and innovation, building the brand.
And this is the trap so many of them fall into. It's this vicious cycle. Teams can spend, get this, up to 80% of their time just collecting and cleaning up messy data. So by the time they actually have an answer, the market's already moved on, and the opportunity is long gone. And then guess what? Next Monday, the whole thing starts all over again. It's just exhausting, and it holds the entire business back. So how in the world do you break that cycle? Well, you have to tame the data beast. It's all about making that leap from a state of constant, stressful chaos to one of total clarity.
The key to this is a process called data harmonization. Now, I know it sounds super technical, but the idea is actually pretty simple. It's kind of like taking a giant, messy library where all the books are in different languages and there's no filing system, and turning it into this perfectly organized space where you can find exactly what you're looking for in seconds.
And the transformation here is dramatic. I mean, night and day. Before, you've got dozens of conflicting data sources. Afterwards, you've got one single source of truth. You go from these slow, manual reports that are basically out of date the second you print them, to automated, real-time insights you can actually do something with.
And this leads us to the most important part of this whole story: the people. Because when you solve the data problem, you're not just fixing spreadsheets, you're empowering the real heroes of the business.
We're talking about the brand owners, the category managers, the marketing experts, and the supply chain leaders. The people whose job it is to see the big picture, to spot the opportunities, and to make those big, decisive moves that really drive growth.
See, automating all that tedious data work isn't just about being more efficient. It's about unlocking human potential. It frees up your smartest people to do the high-impact, strategic work that actually moves the needle and leads to real innovation. Okay, so this all sounds great in theory, right? But let's look at what this actually looks like when the rubber hits the road for some major, well-known brands.
All right, first up, the vitamin drink company VitHit. As they started expanding across Europe, they ran smack into that classic data deluge we talked about. They were trying to juggle all this complex sales data from multiple countries, all in different formats, different languages. You get the picture.
So by harmonizing all of it into a single, clean dashboard, their sales teams could finally stop wrestling with spreadsheets and start spotting real trends. Is a new flavor suddenly taking off in Ireland? Is a competitor starting to gain ground in the UK? Now, they could see it instantly and react, turning what was an operational headache into a real competitive advantage.
Now let's scale that idea up. Way, way up. Arla Foods, Europe's largest dairy group, was facing the exact same challenge, but just on an epic scale. They absolutely had to modernize their entire reporting system if they wanted to stay ahead of the game.
14. That's the number of countries where they streamlined and automated all of their sales data reporting into one single system. I mean, can you even imagine the complexity? We're talking different languages, different currencies, different retail partners. By harmonizing it all, they didn't just save a staggering amount of time. For the very first time, they had a single, unified view of their entire European market.
And this strategy, it works across completely different industries because it's all about winning the same critical battle, the battle for shelf space. And that's just as true for a global giant like British American Tobacco in the vaping market as it is for a leading supplier like Golden Acre Foods.
So for BAT, having clean, accessible data meant they could track what their competitors were doing in near real time, a huge edge in a hyper-competitive space. And for Golden Acre Foods,
It armed their teams to make faster, more accurate decisions on things like pricing and promotions. In both cases, data became their secret weapon for winning in the aisles.
So, what's the big takeaway from all of this? What's the moral of our data story here?
It really comes down to this. Data should be your most powerful tool for growth. It should be the wind in your sails. But for far too many companies, it's become this heavy anchor, just weighing them down. The goal is to turn that liability into your single greatest asset.
You know, the source material sums it up perfectly. It's all about making knowledge made visible, insights made accessible. It's about taking all that raw, chaotic information and turning it into something clear, powerful, and ready for action.
And that leaves us with one final thought. A question for anyone out there trying to build a brand, grow a business. I want you to take a hard look at your weekly routine and ask yourself this question. Is your data working for you, or are you working for your data? Because the answer to that, well, it could change everything.